What is up, everyone? I am Monty, one of your hosts of Black Gay with Something to Say, where Black, queer, and cultural stories take center stage. Our healing, our joy, our community unified. Today, we will be getting into why Black and queer is not redundant, addressing intersectionalities and double erasure. That's part of many lives. Welcome to Black Gay with Something to Say. Like,
Okay.
anyway. So the gag is that the girls are not ready for this episode. That's what the girls are not ready for.
They're not.
Okay?
They're really
We-
not.
We're really getting into some teas here, like some real
Okay.
teas. Like,
Just wait till we spill it.
okay? Grounded in research, bitch.
Woo.
I don't know. I put this podcast as age appropriate, but I occasionally, sometimes, oftenly, frequently, um, all the time, even may use a cuss word.
Fuck.
You know it's real when your feet clapping. Okay,
Hey. On the thighs. Heavy on the thighs.
please. Like black folks gonna laugh. But anyway,
Or they got a fucking hit. Man. Niggas
because like hello.
fuck out of you. God
All
damn.
right. So welcome in everyone.
Hey y'all.
I'm one of your hosts, Monty,
I'm your other host, A.B.
and we have a great show for you all today. If you have not noticed,
We do. We do. We have a lot in store. Just wait. Okay. Okay.
we are glad you're
Alright.
here today.
Absolutely glad. You know
That was
what?
bar. Not even gonna lie.
We're
Roll call,
so,
please.
aren't you glad to see us?
Please. So
Da-da-da.
if you haven't already, go ahead and I know you haven't already because we just coming out. It's our first episode. So if you
And that's
haven't from
okay.
the trailer already said, let's go ahead and tap in, then let's go ahead
All
and
right.
tap
Okay.
in.
Everything.
Like, let's do that because, hmm,
Why not?
hmm.
Okay. Like, why are we gonna sit here and act like you wouldn't? Anyway,
Hello, hello. So,
so what's been going on, girl? How you been doing?
uh,
What's
I've been, as a grad school student and serial entrepreneur, I'm always tired. Um,
have you? Okay. All right. I hear you. Always tired.
I
Always
put
tired.
Brothers Love Healing Arts on hold while I started school last year, and now I'm thinking of starting it back up for the fall this year. So that, and also
Hmm.
in the process of moving. So,
Okay, that's a lot. You sure you're
yeah,
gonna have enough time to rest?
bitch, I am rest. Okay, I do
Oh.
everything gracefully and with ease. Okay,
Okay. All right. You better hear that.
stress can never find me. Do you know why?
Ooh.
Because I'm over here and they're over there.
I love it. I love it. I do. I do. Please better be ducking and dodging. Whoop.
Please, always. Anyway, how are you? Because it's
Girl, I feel you on the always tired.
please could be we,
Um,
but
I could come back on that. Um, with dancing and rehearsals and performing and going to work and teaching, it's been some long days, but I love it. I'm not gonna lie. Although being in New York City is got to be one of the most bipolar cities. Like I feel like it makes people insane just a little bit
of course it does.
because
It's New York City.
it's a walking, even though it doesn't move, it's a walking contradiction. Everything about it is like, yes, we're here to support you. We're gonna make it absolutely fucking the most inconvenient thing on earth. and it's going to be a basic necessity. And that is crazy. So the amount of struggle that you have to deal with on a daily basis
Hmm.
is unnecessary.
That's New
And
York
I
for
feel
you.
like people have gotten so calloused up to it. Like, yes, props to New Yorkers because y'all be pushing through. I'm new here. I'm new to this. I'm not true to this. Um, y'all are some troopers. Props out to y'all. I gotta give hats off to y'all. But why do y'all have to deal with so much bullshit when it's not necessary?
Baby, I left New York because I was tired of waking up and being angry to get on the train. No, not even angry to get on the train. Angry when I get on the train because everyone else is angry.
Right? Like, and then sometimes I'll be fine when I get on the train, but then certain people get on the train and then it ruins the vibe. And I'm
There's
like,
always
we were
ours on this
all
NTA.
we were all very peaceful and chilling before y'all got on here. Now I'm upset. Now I gotta sit here and look out my window and steam.
Please, and that's the tea.
Like, I don't want to do that. I'm tired. Let a nigga breathe.
Please,
And speaking of breathing, you can't breathe in New York, okay?
uh,
All this fucking pollution.
please. I mean, that's America at this point, child. It done got everywhere.
Oh, girl, if you want to talk about it, it's the world. It's all going to
Crying,
shit. I mean, there's some good points,
crying.
but it's still going to shit. But, ooh, excuse me.
Ooh, that bitch over there tired. And he said he was tired, bitch. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this chat before we lose Alibi to sleep. Okay.
Look, I'm always ready to take a nap. I do love a nap.
So today we are talking about double erasure. We are speaking about intersectionality. We are speaking a little bit about code switching. And the name of this
Okay.
episode is Black and Queer is Not a Redundancy. Okay. So let's get
It's
into it.
not. And it's really not. I think that maybe because there may be a perception of them both being minorities in their own sense or having a minority population. They're not they're not the same. They're comprised of different people. There are different aspects that qualify them to be categorized as such. And to have both honestly means to have double the struggle.
Yeah, actually one of the um research articles that I was reading, it was regarding double erasure, but
Hmm.
you can't talk about double erasure without talking about the intersectionality, which is why we have paired them together. But pretty
Exactly.
much one of the quotes are saying, being in the United States has its own unique challenges and experience, often coupled with poor outcomes. To truly understand the experience of Black youth, okay, which we'll be talking a little bit about today, we must acknowledge
Mm.
the impact of historical and present day systems of oppression that have affected Black individuals living in the U.S. Voluminous literature has shown a variety of challenges faced by Black youth stemming from systematic discrimination and racism. Period. That is coming from Causadius et al. 2019, or the article that I pulled it from is from the Trevor Project, All Black Lives Matter Mental Health of Black LGBTQ Youth. And what I found like relevant in this in this paper, research, article, whatever we want to consider it today, tomorrow, next week, um, uh, is that when you're speaking about Black LGBTQ youth, they really express the importance of considering the Black portion of that. Because when you're looking at things like traditional pride, or when you're looking at things like healthcare biases, you see how white counterparts are viewed differently, are developed differently, and pretty much take on their assumed role in society as worthy at a mediocre level. Um, no shade, but all I'm saying is like, you know, there's a reason for Black Pride. Not because we wanted Black Pride, but because we didn't see ourselves in the traditional Pride. Um,
Mhm.
so I really appreciated how this study really put together the risks, because there are two separate risks that exist with being black, and there's risks that exist for being gay, and then some of those risks cross over, creating intersectionalities. But
Uh-huh.
for this, um, the study shows how double erasure puts one at more risk of a negative life experience. With little research done to quantify these things together because of the erasure. So the attempt to erase one still erases both. Because then you don't have information on the black and then you don't have the information on the LGBTQ. So when it comes to you treating these people, not only do you lack knowledge, or when it comes to interacting with these people socially, you have a specific bias. So it reduces the chance of this person who happens to be in both getting the appropriate care, having the correct mental space in today's society, and things like that. And this study was done on 2,500 Black gay youth. Um, so yeah, what is the double erasure though? Like, what exactly is it? I mean, we've been describing it, but really think to yourself for now what that means to you.
Hmm. And like that's something that actually really does get me thinking. Like the disparities, as you mentioned, or the struggles that we have simply being black,
Black.
and then to have not only the lack of representation that you see on social media, on any type of media, right? I mean, we're getting better about that now, but
Yeah,
for a
because it's
long
like
time,
there's
it's
a
been
profit attached to it now.
right because they now see backlash because they were losing profits
Hmm.
because they weren't doing it, and it's. I'm so upset that it has to be like hurting their pockets has to be the way to make them move, but apparently
Well, it's American capitalism.
it's American capitalism. That's what they care about the most, and that's I feel like that's really what's hurting us a lot. But let me be quiet. That's all I'm gonna say. Um,
I'm gonna be quiet.
so to have not only the disparities of or the struggles of being black, those things, the cultural trends that we set, the ideas that we create, a lot of the things that stem from us want to be used as a template and then forgotten about as the source. And then to
Because
also
that group of people
be
is not
someone
worthy. Sorry.
that and, and then to also be someone who is different within said community that's already having a lot of these struggles that people do not want to acknowledge yet want to build off of and to mold themselves after it can be a mind-boggling situation because you're trying to make yourself, we may have to edit this a little bit, but you're trying to make yourself feel at home within your set group of people. Yes. And then within your set group of people, they're also facing a lot of challenges. So even when you're at home, you may also not be able to feel at home. And then to not see home anywhere else outside of there, that is a lot mentally on someone to handle.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you go? How do you solidify yourself? And there's so many other questions that come to mind whenever you're facing things like this, because you then have to either search for or create a home or an ideology, principles, a safe haven for you and or people like you to
Mm-hmm.
thrive. And that is not something that is seen because people do not want to acknowledge it. Because if you pretend the struggle isn't there, you don't have to deal with it. And because the country that we are in is not a morality based country, we are a money based country.
Mm-hmm.
If
But
we
as
were
a people,
morality
we are
based,
morality based.
okay, there's a difference. There's a difference between the people and the country. The country is built off of being a corporation, which is why its money or anything, nothing moves unless their pockets hurt. Nothing changes unless the influx of money is changing. You have the what's it called? Supply and demand. Yes.
Okay, yes,
If
ma'am.
we were a morality based country, I mean, we wouldn't have half the issues that we have. However, like Montoke said, we are a moral based people. And if the people can work together to support each other and acknowledge the fact that yes, there are differences. Yes, we do come from different paths of life. Yes, we do need different things in order for us to come to the same understanding. We have to do some internal self work first, just a
This is
little bit.
what's interesting is now this particular study is from is in regards to Black LGBTQ youth. But I'm sure this is across the spectrum of Black LGBTQ people, or they can think back at some time when this was a thing for them. But so according to this, uh, so let's see, because there's some stats that I feel like are relevant to uh to address, but because there are quite a few statistics. I'm just going to read them off. Um, So first, there is significant diversity within Black LGBTQ youth community. 31% Black LGBTQ youth identify as Black, as gay or lesbian. 35% as bisexual. 20% as pansexual. 9% as queer. So that is literally what? It's 100%. Okay. So, 1 in 3 Black LGBTQ youth identified as transgender or non-binary. 1 in 4 LGBTQ Black youth use pronouns or pronoun combinations that fall outside the binary structure or gender. Okay. Black LGBTQ often report mental challenges, including suicidal ideation. Okay. 44%
Mm-hmm.
of Black LGBTQ youth seriously considered suicide in the past 12 months, including 59% of Black transgender and binary, being non binary youth. Now, I want you all to notice how these statistics are the largest portion of the total LGBTQ youth because uh, 44% Black LGBTQ youth seriously considered suicide in the past 12 months, including 59% of Black transgender non-binary youth. So these issues occur at a lower rate in the LGBTQ youth in general, but within the Black LGBTQ youth, um,
They're higher.
yeah, it's a very large percentage of that. I do want to say, just for the record, you are Black before you are gay because you will see my Blackness, but you will not know my gayness. And even if I have a little more twang in me, when
A little more sugar in the tank.
see,
That's all right.
you can tell that I'm gay or not tell that I'm gay. Because honestly, I could be straight and just have a little sugar in my tank. But
Ain't nothing wrong with
at
that.
the end of the day, it is secondary to this primary identity that is already marginalized, which is why it is important for us to take focus in regards to intersectionalities that exist so we can provide what is needed and create those changes.
Mm-hmm.
And me, social worker, me, okay? I already have plans in my brain about how this can happen. But um I do want to move to the next topic, which is intersectionality. But before I do that, let's just go ahead and give you all both definitions. So the definitions coming from Webster or Google's AI generator, whatever. The first thing that popped up on Google, how about that? Boom. And double erasure is the simultaneous removal or suppression of an individual's or group's identity, history, or experience from two distinct perspectives or contexts, which is what we've kind of described to you all here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to intersectionalities is the interconnected nature of social categorizations such as race, class, and gender as they apply to a given individual or group regarded as creating overlapping and interdependent systems of discrimination or disadvantage. Okay. So this can include race, gender, sexual identity, things like that. Now, I guess we can
Mm-hmm.
speak about, I guess we kind of touched on it a little bit about how it looks in the LGBTQ. Hell, honestly, we can talk about how it looks on both sides of the LGBTQ, the black and non-black. Because when you look at the non-black, you can see two lesbians together making it very successful. You can see um, two gays together and it'd be very successful if they are not black. In a traditional
Mm-hmm.
sense. When you go to these large cities, the gay, the gay center is typically the most expensive center, and it is also the most white. So taking that into
Yeah.
consideration, yeah, Chelsea is very white. Hell's Kitchen is very white.
Chelsea,
Manhattan in
like,
general is very white, but um, there now
like a
not
lot of.
go ahead.
Go ahead. I'll let you go.
Okay,
I
I
was just
was
gonna say a lot of the standard of a lot of the standard of what being like a I don't want to say a top tier or like I don't want to say elite either, but
it
like
girl.
a it girl is being has been shown to be the standard of being the white girl, like the gay version of a white girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is everything going back to the standard of being the status quo that we were presented earlier?
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were trying to be different.
And what's
I thought we
interesting
were trying to
is,
be better,
hmm,
but and not be as exclusionary as we were experiencing before from
mm-hmm.
the other side, right? From the heterosexuals.
So it's like
Now,
even within the marginalized group, there's marginalization still happening. That is why it's an important. That's why it is important to not only address intersectionalities but also prevent double erasure, so that we can see the interconnectedness of other people's experiences beyond simple identities or binary identities. Yes. So
okay, and there are a lot of ways that like this shows up. For like example, when you see biased media campaigns and there's not diversity at all, but it's for the gays, you know,
okay.
or it may be for it's always lacking diversity.
I
Like,
mean, it could be for anyone
I mean,
that's
or
diversity, but it just brings more importance to why because of these identities that have been created to create these categories, it makes it more important to recognize how these categories now communicate with each other and the combinations of these categories can have someone succumb to more severe issues, especially regarding mental health, physical health, things of that nature, um,
hmm,
spiritual health,
I'm glad you
the whole
brought up
thing.
mental health.
Yeah. So that is very important. But what's interesting is, as a collective, we're still treated the same as LGBTQ people when it comes to, say, insurance or even health in general.
Yeah,
Um,
that's very true.
because we're all considered high risk sexual beings in general. Because of
Hmm.
our status of LGBTQ plus, which is very interesting. Um, but outside of that, we even still have discrimination of Black healthcare workers versus white healthcare workers. I mean, Black patients versus white patients being served in hospital settings or medical centers, things of that nature. Prioritization of internal biases around racial biases. So even
Hmm.
so, yeah. Um, a quote I pulled from a National Institute of Health article, the study broken down by biases, healthcare biases experienced in healthcare of BIPOC and LGBTQ patients with NIH doctors, because it was like 8 doctors. And I was not writing them down. Um,
Hmm.
but pretty
Hmm.
much they saw biases through like assumptive care, um, lack of knowledge on how to care for, especially around the transgender people. So these are like mixed between racial or sexual identities. So
Like, and
we saw
that's
that.
they don't, and nobody be asking
And
for help. Like, y'all just be fucking up.
well, honestly, honestly, you're still dealing with, biased curriculums. You're dealing with people who may want to help,
Yeah,
but this person may not help, but they don't have. So there's a lot of mixtures of what can and cannot be happening. But
yeah.
this is what the results say. The results say these are places where we can improve. And how do we improve these
Hmm.
places? By understanding intersectionalities and preventing the erasure of anyone's story. Okay. So,
That part.
which is kind of funny because our culture drop is kind of hot, which is a nice little example of, because funding happened. White gay shows you see on the air often, all the time. Doesn't matter.
Hmm.
When it comes to a Black gay show,
They're
not only is it
sparse. It's
rarely
like a
seen,
sprinkler.
when you do see
few and
it,
far in
it is
between,
removed quickly.
or it's only available for a short period of time.
Right.
That's so annoying.
So, but yes, before we get into that, this is something interesting that I thought because this is how all medical providers look at LGBTQ people, especially Black LGBTQ plus people. And I do want you all to know that there is so much more information that can be spoken on and addressed um, throughout society, but we decided to choose something quickly, such as a health issue and a the youth research topic. Because as you can see, we can talk, but within the broken down biases uh, research with the NIH, one of the participants stated, "I saw written down high risk homosexual behavior," and she asked me if I ever had sex with men. She never asked me when was the last time I had sex with men or if I had sex with more than one man or anything of this nature. And it couldn't have been because I hadn't had sex in like months. I just dislike her to make that assumption that I was out here having unprotected sex or even beyond that. That's the end of the quote. But even beyond that, high risk sexual behaviors can be sex on drugs, can be um, you doing dangerous things bacterially. Okay, whether that
Yeah,
be
yeah,
golden
and it
showers
can
or
lead you
otherwise.
like,
Um,
and I do want to bring up some something on the topic of mental health, especially when it comes to finding something to fulfill yourself when you don't feel, what's the word I'm looking for, whenever you don't feel like at home, or like, you have somewhere to go. um but some have you noticed that sometimes in school, or like educational spaces, there's like the preference given to the white gays, if there are gays in the class?
I mean, it's because they all act like Michael off the Proud Family, which is very funny because Michael off the Proud Family is probably based on on a white gay and a black personality because that apparently is how they see all gays act. And then we within the community know
That's not the
there's
same.
more to it.
There
Not the
is.
case all the way.
And I've no I just want to like maybe put some thought into, like, a possible situation that could happen, right? um so let's say that there is like a quote unquote a term for this. Let's say it's like an educational social hierarchy, right? And to move up this ladder, right, to be successful in your academic career, you have to make connections. In order for you to make connections, you have to have developed a really good and trusted relationship with everyone that you meet, right? So it has to be friends, people that you walk passing by, professors, other people that you don't know. And this isn't necessarily the same approach that everyone has to their academic success, right? Nobody wants to have to develop new traits. I mean, yes, developing new traits are essential for your development as a person, but you want to develop traits that help you become a better you in a healthy way, right? So if we're being put in a situation, or if people are being put in a situation where they are part of a similar marginalized group, however, there's preferential treatment given to them acting a certain way, or abiding by the same standards and the same routines as other or as a different set of people. Um, that can create a very strong sense of displacement, you know, and that can lead
Yes,
to people
belonging
searching
is important.
for, you know, and that can lead to people either searching for home in other people in other places, in places that may not be safe. They may end up
Things in
developing
high
people
risk
pleasing
behaviors.
tendencies. Okay. uh or like rebellion, and so when you want to be rebellious, you may do self-harming acts, and that's not things that those they may feel good in the moment, or they may feel like they're doing something, but they're not good in the long term, you know. And so
But
you
also
have these two.
recognize that
Oh, go ahead.
that also recognize that this is a result of societal infrastructure. So your response is a reach for a cope versus your response being of you naturally sometimes. Um, so when you are in that space and you help, also understand that it's nothing of your fault, but it is the society. Go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good, and that's all the more reason why we need to make sure that we keep the history and people's stories of these experiences and these intersectionalities, and do not engage in the double erasure, so that we can make sure that people can get through life the same way that we say we want everyone to get through this thing equitably, right? You can't
It's
do
okay.
that
We're trying to
without
get
the
to life in
history.
general.
You can't do that. You can't do that without people's stories. You can't do that without the lessons that you've learned from previous experiences. And we have to, I do want to, we have to like really, at the end of the day, stray away from like this whole separating everything from white and black and da 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 da. But there is something I do want to touch on that we are presented with, because it's, I feel like it's very tangible. Like when you, the standard of having to be that much better than our white counterparts is something that's can be difficult to mentally handle, right? Because half the time, sometimes the case is not that they're not capable, but that the person that was chosen over the someone who's more capable is mediocre, right? And so I feel like a lot of us are drilled with the mentality of we have to be twice as good, that much better than
Hmm.
white folks
Black excellence, honey.
to have the shot, right? Because if we aren't, then we're automatically going to be looked over because we are not white. We're black. Cool. I'm going to be that much better so you can't look over me, right? And then you have the aspect of being a part of the LGBTQ community creep up. And so that can either be a good factor or a bad factor, right? And I feel like with the preferential treatment being given to white gays, it sets the standard to act like white gays. And so you have the division again with within the black gay community, with people who have the people pleasing tendencies and then the rebellious tendencies, right? So overall, I really just think if we hold space for each other and actually talk this shit out, change can really happen. Okay.
Only if we want Stonewall riots. But yes. Um now I'll it's like it's those that's our wrap up at the end for like our final thought. But right now we are super excited to get into Noah's Ark. So pardon the change in mood as we are going from research to a reaction. Okay.
Please.
Please.
Okay, because Noah's Ark was kind of good. I'm not gonna lie. It's
It was tea,
kind of
girl. It
alright.
was tea. It's been like, I don't know how many years, like 10 years. And they were able to bring back the original
Yeah.
cast first. Let's go ahead and, I gotta come with the facts, girl.
Okay.
Okay.
Props
So,
for that. Okay, I love that. You
Noah's
had to do.
Ark.
You had to.
Noah's Ark. Director
Hmm.
is Patrick Ian Polk. Okay. We were able to continue to keep
Patrick.
the original cast of the original Noah's Ark, which included Daryl Stevens, Jensen Atwood, Rodney Chester, Christian Vincent, Jonathan Julian, Gregory Keith, and Wilson Cruz. All, well, not all of them, because a few of them were added, like Wilson Cruz was added when we had Noah's Ark jumping the broom. But yes, if you all do
Oh.
not know, Noah's Ark is a black gay sitcom that came out in 2005. And then was taken off of the air due to funding. Um, which the white gays had funding, but we just talked about that. So yes, we are glad to see it back on air. Girl, what was your reactions? Let's go. What you got? Boom.
I'm not gonna
Because
lie.
I am
I
ready.
okay, so I want to start with the scale,
Ooh,
right?
bitch.
I want
Okay,
to give it
well,
like a
while his thing
good.
is reconnecting, girl, the tea of
Can you
those
hear me?
art, girl, tea of those art. I'm just gonna say it has been a long, long, long. First of all, this is the 20th year anniversary, okay, of Noah's Ark. So congratulations to the So yeah, girl, what did you think about it? Because I mean, I have teas, but what do you think?
Oh my gosh. Okay. How do you think we should start? Should we do a number system?
I mean, okay, so on a reg, so like on a scale of 1 to 10, or like 0 to 10,
Yeah.
or
Like
like
a scale of 1 to 10.
okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a strong 8.
Okay. Get out of my head. I was thinking 8 too.
See, 8 is
Okay.
for abundance. Yes, for me,
Okay.
change.
It was like a good 8, 8.5. I'm not gonna lie, they make me a little sad because I was like, I look, he want me a man. However,
Please have you on
besides that
me.
point, besides that point, it was really good. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It showed a lot of like what I think the ideal black life would be as a black gay man. And then it showed a lot of the struggles that are also possibly very real.
hmm
So I think it was a good mix. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel
What
like
did you think?
I feel like Noah's Ark does a great job at displaying positive black gay men. They even added a trans woman this time. Um,
Okay,
and
love
I feel
that.
like they are a necessary part of the conversation
Mm-hmm.
that gets blocked out multiple times because of the power that it represents and that it holds to uplifting a specific community that has been marginalized times two. So I
Okay.
really enjoyed how Noah's Ark is true to an authentic black gay male experience without hyper emphasizing too much of anything. I watched one of the interviews with director Polk, or Patrick Ian. No clue how you people should address them, but
Come on, Director
um,
Polk.
please. But what I appreciated was he was like, these are facets of myself, and I pretty much invested in each character
Mm-hmm.
with that particular identity that was within me already. So it is pretty dope to see how the director displayed himself on stage. I mean, on film. I'm a film geek. That's my undergrad degree. So all I can say is I have a lot more to say, but we only have 5 minutes in this segment, and I feel like we only got 1 minute left. So,
Heard. Well, I okay. Let's just run through some key points that we loved about the show.
well, I
How about
will
we do
say
that?
that I don't like that we had to pay for it on it is only on Paramount Plus only, but I don't mind supporting the gays. However, if you are someone who is financially inept at this time, Paramount Plus is offering 99 cents for the first 2 months. I think it's still going on. If it's not, don't be mad at me, be mad at them. So
Okay,
yeah.
double check. Check before
Okay.
you come back to us.
So all
Okay.
right. We got 10
I
points. What's the points? Let's go.
What's the points? All right. I'm not gonna lie. I love that I did see like a trend for each relationship. So like Noah and his boo, they were all about holding space for each other. Um, the other guy, I forgot his name. Please forgive me. He did the drag in the inn.
Alex,
Yes.
bitch.
And him and his boo were all about having authenticity and honesty with each other, just from the get go, right? Even from a few shows back. Then there was terrible with these names. His husband died.
Yeah.
I think it was Eddie.
Yes.
Their relationship was very much, well, I would say towards the end of it, um, his relationship with his friends towards the end was very much given towards community.
Hmm.
And oh boy, who ended up having, the good old cancer. Oh, poor baby. He taught me about living life to the fullest. You know, living.
Okay, girl. Them not points. You was giving whole story
I'm not going.
sequences. We said
But
points, 10 points in 1 minute. You just took a whole minute. So that is our summary of Noah's Ark
wait,
because we don't have
wait,
time for anything else. You see what happens when you're selfish? So
wait.
anyway,
I'm
let me
sorry.
go
No,
ahead
that's
and
not
show
what I
you what
wanted to. We
points
can
look
cut it. We
like.
can cut it. We
Okay,
can cut
because
it
the
for
points
real.
that I have from the research topic, if you all want to know my opinion on Noah's Ark, you can go ahead and comment below. You can follow me at Monty Asset on Instagram, Monteaset, and girl, we can get this conversation started. But to leave you with these final thoughts, okay, so the research from the Trevor Project identified many risk factors for Black LGBTQ youth mental health. So 9% of Black LGBTQ youth reported having undergone conversion therapy. I'm one of them. But with 82% it happened before the age of 18. 35% of Black LGBTQ youth. Okay, that should just be that should be just for a liaison. LGBTQ youth. LGBTQ youth. Okay, whatever the fuck. Anyway, reported discrimination based on sexual orientation or identity. 52% reported discrimination based on their race or ethnicity. 52%, 17% reported that they had not been physically threatened or harmed in their lifetime due to LGBTQ identity. Um, 25% of Black, transgender, and non binary youth reported that they had been physically threatened or harmed in their lifetime due to their gender identity. However, on the positive side, the high impact protective factors that show up in this research is 82% of Black LGBTQ youth reported to have at least one supportive person in their life. Black, transgender, and binary youth who reported high family support had lower rates of attempted suicide. 82% of Black LGBTQ youth reported access to at least one person in the LGBTQ affirming space. I think AB was speaking about that earlier. Where can we go? Um, Black youth had access to at least one LGBTQ affirming space who attempted suicide had 50% lower rates compared to Black LGBTQ youth without access. So leaving you with that. And yes, that's our recap. So we hope you had a great time today. We hope you gain perspective. We hope that you will go
Okay.
watch Noah's Ark. We hope that you had a great time.
We love
AB, any
having
last
her
words for you
here.
today?
Peace, love. and respect for everybody.
Okay, for everybody. Unless they piss you off, then fuck them bitches.
Fuck f them. Also
I'm such a
FTK.
cancer. I'm such a cancer. My birthday on Saturday. When
Okay,
we out here,
happy
this
early
is gonna be my
birthday.
birthday.
Happy
Yeah.
happy birthday. Happy early birthday.
Feliz
Happy week.
aniversario, baby. Young. It's my birthday all the time. But yes. Thank you for tuning
For the
in.
rest of the
Thank you
month.
for joining us. Um, we will be out on the YouTube and on the Spotify. And we are working on Apple Music now. But yes, catch us 2 Fridays a month. You never know which one. That's Alibi's fault. Alibi, you explain it
Ooh,
to them. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. So my bad, y'all. We add a little bit of spice. It's the air sign in
A little
me.
bit spice. Yes. And and my water sign asked over here, like, baby, you can't float in the water. A hurricane is what it is. What it is. A myth. So yes. All right. We will catch you all next time. Ciao, ciao.
All
Peace,
right, love
love, and
y'all.
beauty.
Either be there or be square.
Peace.
AB out.